to start with a small video just to put some ambience there.
Έχουμε ήχο. That's sometimes the problem with the videos.
So I'm sorry for the sound.
That's the technical difficulties that usually we have, yeah, especially. We'll play it again, I think. Yeah, don't worry.
I will tell you the story now. So this was just an introduction about some use cases that we're doing and typically what 5G is allowing to do. So let's pick. Here you have real use cases that can be done.
Airport traffic is growing faster, passenger volumes are increasing, and the new safety standards require high efficiency and speed of operations. New digital airports need to upgrade their communication facilities to respond to new demands and new issues in several critical areas. How to face these challenges? A private mobile network is the right solution to create a flexible connectivity platform that allows to manage various essential services, such as ground handling, logistics, safety and security, passenger services, baggage management, and many more. The private wireless 4G or 5G network helps to address three main issues: coverage of a very large area, high level of cybersecurity, digitalization of job processes. The fundamental part of this network is Athonet's Mobile Core, a scalable, reliable, secure software solution, unleashing the full potential of mobile networks for any application. Are you ready to jump to the future of airport connectivity?
So hi everyone, I'm Aline Loiseau, I'm from Athonet. So I will speak about 5G in another angle, which is the angle of the private networks. So what is doing Athonet? Athonet is only doing private networks. We are an actor of this market. So from the 4G, now with the 5G SA, and we have implemented and production sites since more than 10 years. So it's not something really new. It's not just now that we are using the 5G and the enhancements thanks to the 5G to having new functions. But here I want to share with you the why a private network and what are the particularities of a private network. So the first thing, it's private. What does it mean? That means that the customer wants to have, the end customer wants to really be at home to ensure the security and to have their own processes. It means also that he's taking care about his own security, and it's something very fundamental to manage that. The performance. A wireless network needs to follow the performance of each dedicated end user, each enterprise, whether it's for production, whether it's for security or everything else. 5G is now about innovation, because 5G is enabling new way of producing typically, but also integration. That means that for the enterprise, we absolutely need to be integrated into an ecosystem. As it was just said in the previous intervention, there is an ecosystem to be integrated, and it's a part of the network and the whole IT of an enterprise. It's also about volumes, because if you're thinking the difference with a public network, publics you have millions and millions of users, a private network is between 50 users in a very small site up to thousands of users. So we have also to manage different range there. What we're talking about? We're talking about a full ecosystems coming from the device, and the enterprise is not taking care about exactly what is the device. The device needs to have some functionalities. In a manufacturing environment, it needs to be ruggedized. It needs to be with the battery, and we will be in an ATEX environment. So it's devices that are specified to a professional use. Up to, of course, a long chain of integration in IT, ending with an application, because what matters to the enterprise is what they will do with a network. So everything in the middle is just to serve that on both sides, and it's really about integration. What can be done? What can be done with this network? So typically, of course, we can talk about usage like voice, data, video. That's for sure. We can also have critical communication. Why it's key? Because if you're thinking about an enterprise or a manufacturing, typically, or an airport, as we've seen before, you have a part of the workers that are taking care about the security, not talking about mines or other activities. So that means that they are used to have voice systems that is really mission critical to save life of people. This use can now be passed on for 5G. So it's critical and needs to have also the service requested by a so critical application. Of course, all the emergency system and alarms can be transported over the network. For all the back office tasks, there is still a lot of IT to be done and to be addressed as well. More and more we are producing digital, transforming the production with digital paths. That means that we need to support all the new way of producing, whether it's lens, whether it's sensor, whether it's augmented reality. So all of that needs to be supported. One of the promises of the 5G is to be secured. Secured is also to be in position to have CCTV typically to control the security of the site. And that is quite key. We saw previously some cases with robots and ATV. it's definitely a use cases that we are encountering more and more. For the robot, and of course about data processing and all the system combined with AI that progressively is really under implementation in the enterprise. So all of those usage are really here to strengthen the fact that the 5G network is a good network for an enterprise. How you want to implement it? For an enterprise, you have quite choice because all the enterprises are not on the same range. So you can say that if you're taking a case, whatever it's, we were saying it before, the Paris airports, with many sites because they have 3 airports to manage, or with an industry with a headquarter and 2 production sites, or wherever you have something, a logistic premises on top of your production site, you will see that you have different topology of sites. And then you need to have installations that are coping with that. You want to be on-prem, so on-site to ensure the security, but your logistic site, maybe you can address it remotely. So this is really the advantage that you can construct it, you can construct your 5G solution as you wish it, as you need it, as from your business requirement. And this is quite important, especially because we are talking about private networks. So maybe some case to illustrate what are the domains where we are having a production sites. So education, for sure, we are covering some universities typically. Let's say in Europe, it's not a major part of the case, but it's coming. And it's coming because there is a need more and more to have campus installation and smart education, let's say, or an end. Manufacturing, I think it's a subject of today about the transformation or the advantage of the 5G to enhance the productions. So quite a lot, we can see a lot of innovation in this range. And progressively the implementation are taking place. That means that the whole ecosystem is evolving from the device to the application all around. Mining oil and gas is quite, and was one of the first usage of the private 5G, because here you are touching to multiple ecosystem, wherever it's public safety, because you are granting the life of your workers. Also production part, because all the production nowadays is automated. And of course, you are handling all the digitalization around the IT. For the retail, it's a question about to give a professional network for the people that are working with the commercial hall, typically. How to grant security and how to grant typically the payment terminal and all the data traffic. Transportation and logistics, so we saw an airport here where you have a number of cases of usage. It's the same for the ports. These are really the 2 places where you can find multiple businesses coexisting with multiple usage, I would say. Utility is very interesting because they have large area to cover. I will maybe come back a little bit more. And about public safety, it's how to grant immediate usage about a 4 5G network. And this is really implemented now in most of the European country. How it is used, it's really for intervention and globally, eventually nationally. So some very precise use case. I will be able to give you more, but just a few choices there. So the Paris airports that you saw before the video. So large number of use cases. They remove fully the radio and the tetra typically. Ports. Port, it is a very interesting case as well because you're facing a number of constraints due to the environment, but also a lot of use cases at the end triggered. Whatever it's security once again, but also it's communication and production, because they really need to understand when to move to a new cargo and how to move and to trace everything. Before we heard about IoT in the previous presentation, IoT is quite key and it's quite developed. So with Enel, with the first electricity provider in Italy, we started nearly 15 years ago. So that's why we ended with all the technology around the year. So there was really a need to develop a lot of IoTs for really the production, really for their sites. And it's today an electricity operator that is worldwide established. So a lot of installation in South America as well. But now each site, they are developing their private network to grant their production. So it's really key and it's really part of their success and their profitability. It's also to have critical monitoring of sensors as well. We were talking about manufacturing. So manufacturing, of course, it's key, and we can see a lot of needs to control the quality. And in this case, it was not to control the quality of the product, but to control how the machine was reacting and the production tool was controlled and well performing, let's say. So in this case of IoT and edge computing, so the thing is really to have on-premise a local core, and then to establish with low latency all a production, and to control that every production machine is performing well, and to grant that. And this is really the add value that we have. So why is the 5G typically in this case? Because of course they were needed bandwidth, because the control was mainly video with AI behind. So you need to upload a large number of data. So 5G is quite key for that one. So maybe a few quite rapidly, or for the other cases, public safety. We are finding a lot of cases, so it's really to open a network when there is nothing working. So again, critical communication here. And maybe the last one is quite interesting, which is stadium, because we were thinking about stadium, about a whole population, but nowadays there is services that want to be proposed for particular population in the stadium. So two examples. The first one are the producer that wants to get videos and wants to have a proper coverage with high bandwidth. but with a very stable signal for the video. And the second case, it's a fan zone where someone having a stage would propose to his fans to get some particular services, some particular video to distribute a particular content. So the private 5G network can be used for that. I think I've finished. Thanks a lot for your attention.
Thanks very much. That was very interesting because you showed a lot of use cases that we can use 5G private networks, and also most of them, at least, are applicable also to the Greek market, which is awesome.
I'm sure that I'm waiting for a lot of Greek enterprise now to be equipped.
That's what we're looking also for, and that's why we're doing all this stuff. Thanks very much, Aline.